When was the last time you were facing a change you didn't choose? And then you were shoved into this wild experience of having to figure it out. When was the last time you decided on a big change on your own and it was still scary? Change is normal and it can be frightening. I I get it, and this is also what I base my work on as a coach. I'm a transition coach, and a little review. I help people move through mostly big changes in their life while tending to their needs and taking care of themselves. And we work on shifting our mindsets. And part of this episode today is kind of focusing on what kind of mindset can we have when we're facing change, whether it's one we've chosen or one we've not chosen, and it just hits us. Now, also a little refresh, the change is the thing that happens. Transition is the process of accepting that change or getting used to that change, let's say. In this episode, we're going to talk about these things and how to face and move through change a little bit easier. This is Needy and Normal. I'm your host, Ashley Levering, mom, wife, and life coach. After years of coaching and learning from my own life, one thing is clear: meeting your needs is essential for living your best life. Here, we'll talk about your needs and not only learn to accept them, but also tend to them without guilt. You're not needy. It's normal. Let's get into it. Okay, so we've established the truth that change happens. We can't avoid it. It's a constant thing. Some changes do hit you like a truck. A breakup, getting laid off, health stuff, someone moving away. You didn't choose it, but now you're in it. That's what I call facing change. It's reactive, right? It's happening to you, or at least that's how it feels. On the flip side, sometimes you feel that itch, that quiet what if whisper. You're not being pushed by life. You're being pulled by something inside, right? We've talked about the nag, something that is saying, listen to me. There's something we should do. We can do. That's choosing change. Well, if you act on it, that is. And it is active. You initiate. You have to do something towards it to make it happen. But again, that's what we feel like is in our control. But here's the kicker. Both kinds of change can feel equally terrifying. And guess what? That's normal. So let's talk about facing change first. Maybe you've been through one of these. You get let go from a job that felt secure. Someone broke up with you out of the blue. A plan that you counted on just crumbled. When change hits like that, it feels like the rug's been pulled out from under you. And the hardest part, you didn't get a say. It wasn't in your control, right? You didn't choose the storyline. You didn't sign up for the plot twist. When we don't choose the change, we often resist it, fight it, try to reverse it, can feel downright disappointed, right? Also totally normal. But here's another truth. Resisting reality never makes it easier. Avoiding it, putting your head under the rug, so the rug gets pulled, putting your head under that rug, not going to work. It doesn't make it easier. The growth starts when we stop asking, why is this happening to me? And start asking, what can this teach me? What can I do? What actions can I take? I'm not trying to push toxic positivity at you and say that every painful thing is a blessing. No, that's not the point. In fact, sometimes there's not a bright side, and it's not about finding the bright side. Some stuff just sucks. It's hard to face. I did an episode recently about facing chaos, right? Embracing the chaos. And I mentioned this. Sometimes things just suck for a minute and they're not okay. And it's a change that does blindside you and it does come out of nowhere and it hurts and it's disappointing and it's all those truths, right? And sometimes there isn't a bright side. It's just about taking action. And instead of reacting in a negative way, it's feeling those feelings, recognizing what you're going through, and then processing through them by taking action. But even in the wreckage, right? There's often a crack of light. There is. There is always something to learn. And I've said this to clients. Okay, so this sucks right now, but where's the opportunity here? And so I look at that as a positive. You can always find an opportunity. And often it is about a lesson. Okay, what can you learn about yourself? What can you choose to do and create an opportunity out of this circumstance? Right? And when there is something to learn, it's a strength that you can build upon. It's a direction. So facing change is rough. I get that. But it also grows you. It makes you face uncomfortable. It makes you take action. And again, when you don't take action, you look away and you try and pretend it's not happening. And you stay in that negative space of, woe is me, I can't believe this is happening. It won't get better. But when we're talking about choosing change, this one can be sneaky because you think, well, I chose it. I should feel confident, right? Well, not always. Because choosing change can be just as scary, even if you're the one making the decision, pulling the trigger, saying yes. It can still be scary. And there can still be plenty of decisions and choices beyond the initial one to do the thing, right? And to make the change. Things like leaving that job that looks good on paper, quote unquote, but drains your soul. Been there. Also helped a lot of clients through that situation. Or how about this one? Ending a relationship that's comfortable but no longer aligned. Go listen to the last episode with my dear friend Paige. Or moving cities and starting over and saying no to what was expected of you. I had a client years ago who quit a job in sports after 20 years of just pure dedication, and it was absolutely terrifying to look straight at her life in a totally different way, which was, I don't want this life anymore. I don't want this job. I want to make a change. Not only did she want a different job, she wanted a new industry and she wanted to move to a new state. And she did just that. And it was absolutely terrifying. And it was really hard facing uncertainty and not knowing what the hell she was going to put herself through by making this giant change. Now, this is one of my favorite client success stories. It worked. It happened. She looked at the change she wanted to make. She made plans. She made it happen, moved to a new state, got a new job in a completely different industry. And now she's thriving. So even though you could choose a change that absolutely terrifies you, it could be the best decision you've ever made. I've said this to clients before, and at first they don't believe me. What if it turns out better than you expected? You're thinking about something right now while you're listening to me, aren't you? What if, whether you're choosing it or it's coming at you, what if it turns out better than you expect? Isn't it possible? Choosing change does require courage. You're stepping into the unknown on purpose. But how brave, how bold, how amazing, because it could turn out better than you expected, or at the worst case scenario, you learn something. You grow from it. The discomfort of uncertainty is often better than the pain of staying stuck. So if there's a nagging change on your mind and going forward and trying to make that change feels scary, but staying stuck where you are feels worse, what's that say, right? That nudge, that whisper that says there's something more. Change doesn't have to mean chaos. Sometimes it means clarity. Sometimes it means finally choosing you. So, considering the mindsets that you can kind of latch onto. One, you're not always in control, even if you think you are. And sometimes that's okay. And not having expectations and kind of leaning into the uncertainty and just taking one step at a time can lead you to better things than you might have originally pictured for yourself. And when it comes to facing change you didn't choose, yes, honor the feelings that you have. Be pissed off. Realize how much it sucks if it's a change that's negative, right? Or if it's a change that really feels Whoa, I did not see that coming. Fine. Look at it for what it is. Okay, this thing happened. I wasn't expecting it. Don't love it. It's making me feel scrambly in my brain, and I am not prepared for this. Fine, look at it for what it is. Then take a deep breath and take it one step at a time and find an opportunity. If you can't find the bright side or something positive about it, look for an opportunity. Okay, what is this teaching me? And what can I let go of? What control can I release? And on the other side, if you're choosing a change in your life, the mindset you might want to grab onto is, if I stay here, I'll never know how good it could be. If I don't go through the discomfort, I might not get to a really, really comfortable place that I can be proud of. Right? And here's hopefully some comfort right now in this moment, knowing that change is coming or change happens. You're trying to choose it or it's just smacking you in the face. Either way, whatever the human experience is, whatever your human experience is when you're facing change, choosing it or not, is normal. It's normal. And something I always tell people, and I stand by this very, very strongly, very much so, when you tend to your needs, when you take care of your mental health, your physical health, when you do things that make you feel good, especially when you're facing a change and moving through that transition period, it will be better. It will be easier. And instead of looking away and pretending things aren't happening, face it head on. And like I always say, you don't have to do things by yourself. You can phone a friend, right? You can ask for help. You can call a coach. So whether you're facing a change you didn't ask for or you're choosing a change that feels risky, you're still growing. You're still moving forward. You're still doing the hard, brave human work of evolving. That is personal development. That even though you face change and move through changes, you can still grow and learn and develop and become the person you want to be and do the things you want to do. Because honestly, that's how change becomes transformation. One decision at a time. So if this resonates with you and you're in the middle of a change right now, send me a message. Find me on social media, Needy and Normal Pod, or go straight to my coaching at ABL Life Coaching. Send me a message. Tell me about it. I'd love to hear your story. I'd love to hear what you're facing or what you want to face, but it scares the hell out of you. And if you know someone who's going through this kind of thing, send this episode their way. Sometimes just knowing we're not alone in the chaos and the changes and the life that life throws at us, it makes a difference. So until next time, take a breath, trust yourself, and remember you're not stuck, even if you're just between chapters. Change is normal. Transition is normal. And your needs matter because you matter. Come back next week. Take care. Thank you for listening to the Needy and Normal podcast. If you liked this episode, share it with a friend. Go back and listen to older episodes and find your favorite. Please leave me a rating and a review before you go. I would so appreciate it. The Needy and Normal podcast is brought to you by ABL Life Coaching. You can follow ABL Life Coaching and Needy and Normal Pod both on Instagram. And if you're interested in coaching, check out ablifecoaching.com.